Yes.
Okay.
Do we have anyone here for the demo permit? Okay. So, first, see that. One more committee. I circulated draft minutes from the previous meeting. Did anyone see any issues or things that need to be corrected? If so, please let me know and we can do a motion to amend it. If not, can you do a motion to approve? All in favor of approving the draft minutes from the previous meeting? Any opposed? Any abstentions? So it's approved by a voice vote of 8-0. Unless anyone has an objection, I'll move the demolition agenda to the end. I don't know if they're going to be able to make it here or not because of the short notice. So we'll put that at the end. Which brings us to, if you want me to see this, which application do I have here? This is this Aldrich guy. Yeah. Yes. Brings us to 25 Aldrich Road, BZA 26034, to connect a residential driveway and curb cut to provide vehicular access from Aldrich Road and create off-street parking, including relocation of existing walkway. The applicant seeks a variance to permit off-street parking as generally shown on the submitted site plan.
My apologies.
Do you want to sit here?
I do not know if this is being recorded, so.
Thank you for the warning.
So the way we do this, we give the applicant a chance to speak, and then we have questions from the committee, and then we have questions and comments from the public, and then we give the applicant a chance to respond, and it comes back to the committee for a vote. I'll let the applicant is here. You introduce yourself and your name and your address, and you have the floor.
Sure.
His neighbor.
Thank you for coming. Very cool. Thank you for everybody's time. My name is Alex. I'm the applicant and the homeowner at 25 Aldrich Road, along with my wife. We're requesting a minor variance to allow access from Aldrich Road, in a modest driveway. Today, our home abuts an alley, and we have a single parking spot along the alley. What makes this situation particularly challenging is that recently, two-hour parking restriction was implemented on Aldrich Road. As just a practical matter, we have a 4-bedroom home with only one off-street parking spot, and so it limits the ordinary use of the property when it comes to parking for my wife and I, caregivers for our kids, family, friends. Normal household activity is very difficult to accommodate given the parking restriction. Compounding that issue is that our parcel is triangular. So the backside of the property is about 1/3 in length compared to the front. And so it's just very difficult to find any other location to park on the property other than what's proposed in the site plan. I did want to make one comment. So I do believe that there's an error in the city staff report. We reached out to them probably about 2 years ago with this plan. They initially said no, and then we in May of 2025, so just last year, we provided more information to them. They advanced it to the administrator of the Division of Traffic Management for appeal. They reviewed it and they said they would be supportive with 2 conditions. Condition 1 is that the existing walkway on the eastern side of the parcel must be removed or relocated so that the access point can be located in its place, which of course we've addressed on the site plan. And then secondly, they wanted us to go through the BZA process, which of course we're doing today.
Which is the site plan?
I'm sorry?
In the application, which is the site plan? Is this?
That's it.
Yeah, that's
Which kind of?
So you can see the triangular lot shape. Just a few more comments. I think, one, this is a fairly unique situation. I'm not aware of any other homes in the area that have a combination of circumstances where, one, parking restrictions were implemented after we purchased. Two, we don't have right-of-way access today on Aldridge, and we just have basically one single parking spot. And also a sort of unique geometry on the property. So we're simply asking for right-of-way access to Aldridge Road. We need one other comment. The concrete itself is concrete. It's very, very similar to really all the other homes on Aldridge Drive. And then we're also adding a walkway from the driveway up to the center of the house with some steps, so it'll look very nice. And the only variance we need is to reduce the required parking setback from 25 feet to 15 feet. So I respectfully ask for your support and would be happy to answer any questions.
I did not put in the agenda 25 feet.
That's the parking setback.
Which one?
And then in the city plan, we had initially requested 2, but the city planner came back and said we only need 1.
And I just said, this, I don't see the site plan. Maybe I have the wrong thing up.
There's a couple of notes down.
I printed a different copy that the city requested after the fact. Again, I don't think they went back and updated it with the board. I can email it to you if that's helpful. I printed 2 copies.
Well, that's just the zoning map. That's not the site plan.
May I say something? I'm his neighbor.
Oh, but you will have a chance. You will have a chance to speak.
Okay.
I'll make sure. If I can get this up or down.
Really?
Got it.
See if I can get this up.
Is it helpful if I email it to you, Steve?
Yes, do you have it in your?
Yeah, if you need.
And are you sending that to the .ac or to the Gmail?
I think your Gmail.
Okay.
Hopefully this works.
Tell me when you've sent it and I'll hit refresh.
Sent a link to the CAC zoning chair.
That's the- I'm going to be having to switch between emails for a while to get everything on the same page. Oops. Here we go. That's the agenda. Oh, here it is. Dropbox. There we go. It's hard using a mouse over it like that. And I will send this to our secretary, Michael Hall, our vice chair, so that he can. And I should have apologized for not pointing this out. So your plan is, can you repeat what you're planning on doing here?
Yeah, so it would require a curb cut, which the Division of traffic management has agreed to with the two conditions, and then a short driveway. We're relocating the existing walkway, so that'll go away, be replaced by the driveway itself, and then we have a new nice walkway up to the center of the home.
Now, to repeat, the two variances, so we have for the record, the two variances that you're seeking are,
There's actually only one, so we included two initially, and the city planner said we don't need one based on the site plan. So the only one that I believe is required is the parking setback line, to reduce the required parking setback from 25 feet to 15.
The 2-7.
right,
Which is in the agenda.
which I did not put on the agenda. Right.
What's it, 2-7? 2-7 is to reduce required parking setback. from
See, this is
25
part
feet
of
to 15 feet.
This is why we have the committee meeting for now,
To work out these kinks.
Figure this out.
because sometimes there are.
And then the city said you don't need 2 feet to
The
prevent
side
off-street
yard,
parking. That one,
yes,
they've eliminated.
yes. I think they have the ability to.
2-7 was the number. 2-8 is the number.
Is there an updated city staff report yet?
Not yet.
Do you think there'll be one by Thursday?
By next week,
Yes.
I will try. I'm surprised we don't have one yet. I made the request last Thursday and then emailed them again on Monday of this week.
So yeah, this is the city staff report, which I downloaded. The city can change it here. And we'll pull up to exactly what they say the application score is for 3312.27 parking setback line, just so that Michael Hall can see it there. To reduce the required parking setback from 25 to 15 feet. And that is, where's the 25 to 15 feet? Where are the 25 normally be? Where in this map do we see that?
That's a great question.
Right here, it says 25-foot parking setback, right there, where your house is, yeah.
25.
Oh, good.
So you would.
Setback from the right of way, right?
Yeah. And so this, and where the 15 feet is here.
What's the difference between the yellow and
Parking and setback.
You can step
So
up.
I'm admittedly not a city code expert, but my understanding is the 25-foot parking setback is what's required. And I can't remember, I think it's this orange area is what they said is like the minimum length per car. And so we're cutting into that by 10 feet. That's again,
The 25, so okay, so the 25 would go here and you want it to go to here.
yeah, we need an extra, basically 10 feet to reduce the setback by 10 feet.
what's the red?
I think.
So it looks like the red is just the parking pad, and then the long yellow line that goes from the red to the right of way line, 25 foot setback. And then 10 feet closer to the
Show them where your tree is, because you're just going to the tree.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. We're just going to the edge of the house, yeah, because it's a triangle, so it gets.
So you're not
more.
connecting through to the rest of the whole driveway.
No.
Red.
The red line is the property line. Nice.
Yeah, boundary, I believe.
So the variance being requested is on the setback to the.
That 10 feet from the 15 feet. And then for the 25 feet, that's enough.
Yes.
And then yellow,
So it's slightly.
orange to
down.
yellow.
Move it back any farther to put two cars, you'd have to put it back to a zero setback here. To this, the alleys. Right there. Yeah. Okay.
need another.
I think that explains why we did, that's it, that this is why, again, why we're doing it.
Yeah.
Do we have questions from the committee, more questions from the committee?
I have one, you were saying that it's now 2 hours parking in front of your house and on the
Correct.
street. Do you have one dedicated parking space on the street?
No. So we have one in this area right here. Is where we can park today. And that's it.
But not any street parking there?
Correct. That's restricted to our parking restriction.
But there was a tree there.
Maybe there's like the tree there and then the parking, you're right, the parking spot would be over there.
Okay.
So I imagine there's not a lot of street parking.
I mean, it
You
depends.
probably have to get there at the right time.
Yeah, I mean,
He's got a picture
talking
for that.
yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I think that the challenge is even when it's available, it's still a restricted parking spot.
Oh, for 2 hours?
For 2 hours. I think between 9 and 5.
School days is what this is.
To the school.
I have parked in front of that house a couple times going to your store. Parking is packed.
It's always.
Can you speak at all to why the 2 hour limit was implemented? Do you know, or?
Yeah. So that was a
Watterson,
topic of debate, I think roughly 2 years ago, at least
it's longer than that.
for Aldridge Road. But there were a lot of students, like the juniors, I think at Bishop Watterson would park there during the day, and so it was just really heavily congested and safety issue for pedestrians. We don't have a sidewalk on our street.
Would you mind reminding me of the 2 conditions that the city attached so that you don't need the,
Yeah.
the
So today,
3-2-1?
they simply said, so this is we have a walkway today to the front porch, and so they said if we're going to allow access to the right of way on the home, we should eliminate the walkway, which we're doing, and then we're kind of replacing it with
The walkway from the driveway.
So one condition was get rid of the existing walkway, and the other was go through the PCA process.
That's a no-brainer. Okay, thank you.
Does the walkway have a step up off the curb?
That's. And it'll look much nicer too. It's very choppy and different heights and everything.
So there will be a curb cut.
Yes, that's right.
I'm going to just paste this into my notes. The one thing the CAC asked me to give Michael time to give detailed minutes to the CAC, they are compromises that I send them. I send them just a list of what was says about.
I have that in the minutes.
Okay.
You had this actually like designed yet or anything, or do you just have like this picture?
So we have the other picture, which I think is a better
Well,
depiction.
I was just wondering, like, there's a sign here and you've got your lamppost, so I just want to make sure have provisions for those things.
Yeah, so we'll move the lamp post and presumably and what have you. So
Just think that
okay, do we have any comments? Get any more comments from the committee? Okay, then, I think you want to speak, can you give him?
Well, I'm his neighbor to the other side, and we've only lived there 53 years at 36 West Cook Road. And students park there all the time, and they did put up the 2-hour parking. Now, how far are you supposed to park from a driveway? Is it 5 feet?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the other day, they even parked and blocked my neighbor's driveway by this much, and he has a little driveway. So it is a problem. And we've lived there a while. And of course, all the restaurants down, but, I didn't have a problem with that. And ours, we have 2 hours parking on our street, too. but it's just, they make it impossible to go through there. And then the Community Housing Network house, their cars come way out into the driveway. And they keep telling us, we're a Cook Road property and Cook won't, I've got the abstract with me from the 1800s. Anyway, they moved a stake in the ground that's by your property, I'm sorry to say. But I watched them do it, and he said, oh, no, we didn't. We put it right back. Well, they didn't. They moved it over. And so, anyway, that's just, I should have taken a picture. That was 25, 30 years ago. But it's amazing. But, I mean, they should be able to park. And we certainly have no problem with him having a little. And I went over and looked at it, and it should look very, very nice.
Thank you. Any other comments from the public? Ms. Simbra?
Sandy Simbro, old person. Here again, as a everyone who ever comes before the Clintonville Area Commission, Variance and Zoning Committee, or goes to the BZA, if you do not have a registered pinned survey that you own, it's not what's on that piece of paper. That the old document doesn't mean anything. It just says that you own a piece of land that's this dimensions on the earth, but it doesn't say where on the earth it is. A survey will tell you the minutes, degrees, and everything, and they cost anywhere from $500 to $2,000. Depends on a whole lot of things. And that eliminates a lot of he said, she said. It is also a federal offense to move a pin
Yeah,
from a
they
survey.
did that.
This is also another example where we have given away on-street parking for the businesses on High Street. Although in this particular incident, the high school, I think that Watterson is the one that needs, Watterson's got a problem with their students. And the parking of the driveways is a big deal. Also, this lot uniqueness isn't terribly unique along Wall Street, AKA Wall Alley. And that's the alley that runs parallel to High Street on the west. And it
Really?
used to go from Lazarus all the way to, I don't know how far it goes. Do you know?
It stops at,
Yeah.
yeah.
But almost every one of the lots along that alley has this wedge. And they all have their their garage access off the alley. So this is the first one I've ever seen that is asking for a front parking access as opposed to off the alley access.
We did that. We closed off our access from the alley because the people from the apartment kept trying to hit me in my own driveway. I would be getting my children out of the car and they would buzz in to back up to park there. So yes, ours is closed off. Our driveway is closed off to the alley. And my kids are 53 and 50, so you know it's been a while.
Okay.
But
Okay, I think, let's see if other people have a chance.
But I want to say one other thing, that we were told we had a survey done, and we were told we were 3 feet on to the driveway. Our neighbor was 3 feet onto our property. Their neighbor was on 3 feet. See, they moved that pin, and they didn't go from High Street over. They went from Old Tangi River Road up. And all of us are 3 feet over to the next, going east. So they moved the pin,
So just to respond to that, I mean,
and it wouldn't affect you,
yeah.
but it
So-
did
Okay, we'll
us.
give you a chance to respond to things
Yeah.
after other people.
After? Okay.
Okay, anyone else here to speak?
It's true.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, go.
I was just going to respond and say, you know, she's right. Access from the alley is very common, but again, this is a unique case where the parking restrictions were added after we purchased the home. It's a very unique lot shape. We don't have right-of-way access today, and you know, I think the solution works very well.
Commissioner Moritz, do you have a commissioner report?
No, I have not heard from any neighbors. I've met with the residents.
Just as usual, I've mailed them out on, put the mail on Wednesday, notices the mail on Wednesday. I received my copy on Friday.
We did have a few neighbors stop by and ask what was going on, and no
So
issues.
just
They
will
were
sign
worried we
up
were
there.
gonna put in like a Chick-fil-A or something, and so when they heard we just wanted a driveway, there's no issues.
What's that drive-through Chick-fil-A?
I think we'll,
It doesn't have enough room to be double.
Oh.
for that.
since we have the public comment, I'll put a motion to approve on the floor, and this is the variance to the parking setback line 33, 12, 27, to reduce the parking setback from 25 feet to 15 feet. And I will pull back up the map so you can see that.
I'd like to make us, give you a project. No, you, right here. I think you should take pictures of some of these parked in the driveway, in blocking driveway situations, and bring it over to Watterson. Bring it over to the principal. And maybe they can,
Yeah,
You're
they
talking to
did.
her, not me.
I'm talking to you.
Yeah, oh, you're talking to me, I
Yes,
thought you
ma'am.
were talking to her, that's why I moved over so you can see her.
No, I mean,
Yes, they did. And they just did it this last week. Our neighbor, they were this far onto his driveway and he has a very single. And he had to go up over his grass to
this
get out.
week is probably, I think the better time to do it would be pay attention at the beginning of the year, because tomorrow's their last day or something, right?
Okay, I think so. Let's,
Anyway.
let's,
I suggest contacting
Well,
Watterson.
they called, he
Okay,
called the
please,
police
let's
and
get
they
back.
came out and gave him a ticket. And I'm seriously
Please.
thinking, is it
Please.
wrong if I put
Please.
yellow 5
Please.
5 feet
do I have
from
to
each
raise
drive?
my voice?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I tried to be nice a bunch of times, because I'd like, we can have that discussion after the meeting if you'd like. I'd like to keep the meeting on target, and I apologize for raising my voice. So I put a motion on the table to approve. It's up for discussion, and if people want to ask questions of the applicant.
Got a question. Can you not do the same thing from the alley and take out your tree and access one more additional parking spot?
I mean, I guess you could, but it wouldn't match the character of the neighborhood, right? Because then you have like a weird parking space on the side of the house versus, I think the approach we've taken is just matching the look and feel of every driveway on the street.
Yeah. I definitely understand where you're coming from, and it would be odd.
Yeah.
But I think it may work within the constraints of what the staff report has on it. But I do agree that access from the front is going to be better given the shape of the lot. But if it all goes south, I mean, it may
It's
be
an
option.
interesting idea.
Any other questions or comments from the committee? Okay, good. And I'll put it up for a vote. Again, we can make comments as we go around. Starting,
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes, and I think this rises to the level of hardship, the hardship law. Yes, the parking kind of was taken away, that they would probably be requested. Yes.
your turn.
Yes.
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 Yes, I'll agree with Diane. I think between the shape of the lot and the addition of the restrictions on the parking on the street after the property is purchased, it does not rise to the level of a legitimate hardship.
Chair votes yes as well. And I think putting parking on the side doesn't make as much sense when you're trying to add parking to it. So that goes to the commission next Thursday at their 7 p.m. meeting at the that confirmed, at least last I heard it was the chair confirmed that it would be at the Whetstone Library this month. I think that's it. I would suggest getting an updated updated maps if you get any updated comments from the city. I think that would help. That's another reason why you have 8 days between this meeting and the
Yeah.
commission meeting.
Do I send this to you, Diana, or is there a different?
Send
for that?
send them to me, Vice Chair Haw, who's on a lot of the email, Michael Haw, and CC. Who would you suggest? Should it also, Commissioner Moritz, who should it just be us, or should we send it to Chair?
Chair Bolton would be good because she uses her computer and she has access to, she can show documents on the screen if necessary.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, she's in charge of the next meeting. I'll do a report. The only thing difference is it'd be shorter, and I'll give a brief report at the beginning about what happened. And I think that's it. I appreciate your time.
I appreciate your time. Thank you all. Thank you.
Okay. Next, we move on. You are welcome to stay for the graphics variance if you wish to watch the graphics variance, or
Sure.
you're welcome.
Yeah, we'll see.
And I may have to briefly step out to give some equipment over to our election chair, who's going to stop by sometime tonight to get that. So yes, now we're moving on to.
Excuse me, will there be an opportunity for other folks to be able to speak
Oh, I
about
did-
other
I
issues
did-
not on the agenda?
Something not on the agenda of the Zoning and Variance Committee.
I don't know, I mean, I don't think it's on the agenda.
No, not for the Zoning and Variance Committee. The commission has public comment time at the end of their talk. This is just the Zoning and Variance Committee.
I was so encouraged by the deliberative process, and I thought we'd be able to participate with the concern we have as a group of folks living up on Fenway Road, just north of Grayson Shopping Center.
Let's see what we have, and see what's going on at the end of the meeting, and I'll talk briefly with Commissioner Moritz about that. Because it's not a variance matter, it is something that goes to the commission. Anything goes between the commission and the city, not between the committee and the commission. The committee only has a role in recommending on variances and demo permits. Okay.
Well, we got our fingers crossed. We'll stay here,
Okay.
wait you out.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Move on to the graphics variance, GC 26029, 3989 North High Street, to allow the installation of a replacement ground sign as indicated on the documents. The applicant seeks a variance to reduce the required ground sign setback from 15 feet to 6 feet. And let me see if I can find this for you. That's the wrong one. How do I pull this up? I pulled everyone up but this. Apologize. This is. Yeah. Open this here. And this is. Here's the sign. Thank. Now, you, as I said, you identify yourself. You're here on behalf of the applicant.
Yes, I am here with I'm Bob Cobb. I'm here with my wife, Sandy. We are both members of the First Church of Christ Scientist. We are located at 3989 North High Street. You probably all know where we are located. It's north of the Whetstone Library, south of the ravine, and we are in the front of the Clintonville Women's Club. So that position's where we're located. First of all, thank you for allowing us to come here this evening and talk about our request for a variance. Our church has been there since 1951, the cornerstone on the building. We previously had been on Indianola and relocated to the current property in 1951. So we've been here 75 years. When the church was built, we had and you have to visualize this a bit, we had a serpentine brick wall at the south driveway entrance. On that wall was a sign that actually faced out toward High Street rather than north-south. So it wasn't a very functional But that sign was right essentially on the sidewalk with a setback probably of 3 or 4 feet, not much more than what people needed to walk onto the property. As that sign aged, probably in 2000 or maybe in the late 90s, we installed a new sign, and I recall the membership debated whether to do a brick sign or a wood sign, and the wood sign won out at the time, vote of the membership. That wood sign has been there since the late 90s or around 2000, and it has since deteriorated to the point where we badly need a new sign. That sign has been at 6 feet or less for 75 years. We worked with Fasten Design here in Columbus, a design company. We also identified a sign builder that could put the sign in. That is Clary Signs here in Ohio. They are licensed to build signs and install them in Columbus City. So the sign was designed, and Mr. Clary brought all the materials and met with the city staff, and we were told that we could not simply replace the sign at its current location, and that rather than a 6-foot setback, it would have to be considerably further away from that. But we were told that we could seek a variance and ask for permission to put the new sign on the site to replace the existing sign that's been there for 75 years. So the application has been submitted by Fasten Design. We are here this evening with that request. The pictures that are relatively small, it shows the new sign juxtaposed where the old sign currently is. So our request very simply is that we be allowed to put the new sign up with the 6-foot setback at the current location, replace the current sign with the new sign.
Thank you.
Be happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, now it comes to the committee for questions.
It's brick this time?
It is a brick. It's a brick design. It is not brick itself.
Okay.
In the sign business, they do stuff with polymers, and so this is a brick, faux brick, I guess you would call it. But Clary has been very careful to match that brick with the brick of the building, and so. By the way, there are several signs like this down in the Cincinnati area, and they have held up, and they've matched the facade of the church buildings down there as well. So we have that sign. That's the lettering indicating First Church of Christ Zionist, 3989, and then the smaller print is the time of service, which is common on church signs. It is fastened, however, by steel posts. You'll see that rendition just below the rendition of the sign. And it goes down 2 to 4 feet, I believe, into the ground. The sign is mounted on top of that. And then we will have a bed surrounding the sign to give distance between the grass and the sign itself. The one other thing that Tim Kaskuski from Fasten Design indicated is we looked at other buildings on High Street. He said, go up and down High Street and see where the signs are in terms of setback. We drove High Street between Henderson and West North Broadway, and there are some 20 signs that are with the 6-foot setback. And I've got a list of those if you need them. We then looked at the east side, and there are 8 or 9 also with the 6-foot setback. And it's people like Wendy's or, you know, some of the Catalinas on the west, or even the Whetstone Park has a sign 6 feet. Clintonville Women's Club is 6 feet. So I have that list, and parenthetically, this building is 6 feet, and it is also a church. So a little humor there, I guess. But our request is very simple. We need a sign, we'd like to put it up, and we'd like to replace our existing sign with a 6-foot setback. Then that's it.
Questions, other questions from the committee?
I see the entire sign structure is about 12 feet wide.
Correct.
How much larger is that than the existing sign?
I think the existing sign is no more than 5 or 6 feet. It may be 6. It's probably, yeah, it was, as I said, it was a wooden design. It was, I don't think it was intended to last 20 years or more. So it's smaller, and quite frankly, this one allows us to have better visibility, and it's commensurate with the signs of other churches on High Street. So we don't define that as a hardship, by the way. That's probably a zoning term. But just from a visual perception, we want to be equal and be able to be viewed, you know, people walking up and down High Street in strollers, buses, cars, and what they'll see initially is the First Church of Christ sign. And that, it's just a labeling, no different than any other business.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One thing I would note, I know you're asking about the size of this, it does not sit any closer to the road than the existing sign. So while it might be further back in the lot, the parcel, it's not any closer to the right of way than the existing sign.
I think it's an improvement.
It's not as tall as the original. It's not as tall.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
It's not as tall.
No, it's a lower sign. It's probably 4 feet. I don't know, you've got dimensions there on the side, I believe.
I live on Glenheim, and
Oh, yes.
it took years before I even saw the sign, frankly, that you have now.
Yeah.
It's, yeah.
Who needs help?
Point made. Thank you.
Any other questions from the committee? Any public comment? Then it comes back to the committee for,
Do we have a commissioner report?
Oh,
I have no comment. Looks good to me.
thank you for I'll put a motion to approve, Chair puts a motion to approve as submitted on the table. It's up for discussion.
To me, this, the size is not the variance, it's the location, which is where it already is. I guess I'm wondering why we have to do it.
Seems like it's kind of grandfathered.
Right.
I mean, it's, if you were talking about the size variance, okay, then you have something to talk about, but when you're talking about a sign where it is, to where it is.
So it's a renovation, right? So it just triggers the process.
Yes.
And I don't know if there are different rules for graphics as there are for.
Well, I know some signs, if it's already there, you can use the same pole and not have to, you know, it could be closer to this, too close to the street if you took the whole thing out. But if the pole is still there, you can use the pole and put up another sign.
Yeah, like with TJ's.
Maybe, yeah.
Well,
So,
But again, as we
Call the-
completely reconstructing
okay.
a new sign, it's true.
We have a motion to call it.
Yeah.
Anyone object to calling the question? Okay, and we'll time to vote. You can put in your comments. I'll start with Vice Chair Harvest.
I will vote yes, as this is just simply rebuilding the existing location and is consistent with other signs we have approved along the same area, including Whetstone and businesses there. Yes.
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 Yes, and I would recommend bringing your list of where you went up and down High Street.
I can leave it behind if you'd like.
No, just bring it to the commission meeting.
Certainly.
Have it entered in, yes.
Chair votes yes, it's a unanimous recommendation of yes to go to the commission next, their meeting next Thursday. They often don't start their zoning agenda until after 8 o'clock, but if you don't show up until 8 o'clock, that'll be the first time you probably do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time. Thank you everyone for working to improve your property and improve your sign. Thanks. And so you can stay. We're going to have a demo permit discussion, and then I'll have to decide whether we're going to allow at least a minute, maybe just a few minutes at most. The public meeting, that'll be a matter. I'll let the committee make an opinion on that. You're welcome to stay. The demo permit is on the. You're also welcome to. You can leave if you want. We won't be insulted. The way demo permits work is if it's a detached residential garage, there's a bypass procedure as long as the chair of the commission, the chair of the zoning committee, and the commissioner of the district don't object. The waiting period is waived. These are only about the waiver of the 60-day waiting period. When you pull a demo permit in the city of Columbus, you have to wait 60 days unless the area commission gives its approval of a waiver. We do have a provision in our rules that allow for these to go on the agenda up to 24 hours in advance, and I got notice of this about 30 hours in advance. After consulting with the commissioner, the chair of the commission, the applicant did say they don't want to have to wait till next month to go through the process, because if we waited till next month, they would, most of the 60-day waiting period would be gone by the time they got to the commission. I suggested putting it on the agenda because whether we vote yes or no, it at least advances to the commission for their decision. I did follow the bylaws, and he has acknowledged receipt of the Clinton Historical Society did receive a copy of this as we do. The purpose of this is to give the community a chance to try to save a building if they want to try to save it, but also to allow someone to tear down a building eventually on their own private property. So I guess I'll go through the regular process, and then the committee can do what it wants to do. The applicant is not here, am I correct? No, they are aware of the meeting. They just didn't promise to be able to attend. So that leaves there's no questions from the committee. I'll put the committee's discussion until after we have public comment. Do we have any public comment on this?
Where is this one?
It is 263 West North Broadway. It is a whole house demolition. It is a residential demolition, which is also why it's important to put on the agenda and give people.
263 West North Broadway.
Yes.
It's several houses up from the river on the south side.
Well, is that the one that just transferred for like 170,000?
Yes.
Yeah.
The one that sits back on the alley?
It's one of the few that is
Sits back on the
remaining
alley?
way back on the alley
Yeah, gotcha.
behind Brighton.
So they can build another
West
house
North
there.
Brightwood.
Gotcha.
They've already demoed one similar house that was set back on the alley and built a new property. So this is, I'm assuming, a similar. I don't think we have a site plan for what they intend to do after the demo, but
That's not that. Yeah, we're not. That's generally considered not our.
I would just add this is kind of consistent with another house in that same block that was demoed and moved from sitting on the alley closer to West North Broadway front.
And other than the demolition, we have no permit.
Other than the
waiting period, that's correct.
Okay, I'll put a motion to, we had no public comment, a motion to approve the demo permit. Actually, I don't think the variance does apply, so someone want to put a motion to approve the waiver of the 60-day waiting period on the table.
So,
Do you have a second?
second.
Okay. Now we have any discussion? I think we have two choices, approve or recommend approval, recommend disapprove, either way it goes to the commission, which is next Thursday. Okay, then if there's no discussion, go ahead.
Yes.
Send it to the commission, yes.
Yes.
Knock it down.
Yes.
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 And the chair votes yes as well, so it'll go with the recommendation of a yes vote. I'll let them know that they, when they don't show up, if they don't show up at the commission meeting, they take a risk that there'll be questions that people, they wish that they could answer. That goes to the commission. Now, what is the committee's, there is a matter up on Fenway of a rezoning by the retirement home up there. And it is, the city says under its code, that it's not a variance that goes before the area commission, so it doesn't go on our agenda. There are concerned neighbors, and I have to admit, I focus my attention on the zoning matters that come before the committee, and I try to leave commission matters for the commission. Do you have any thoughts about allowing a few minutes to let people? How many people are here to speak on this? And
We only have 5 tonight. We had 9 at City Council at Whetstone yesterday, so can't balance on the whole.
If you have someone who has, do you have one person who can speak?
Let me give it a snap.
Yeah, you can just keep your comments under 5 minutes.
Oh, that's impossible.
I'm just kidding.
And if you'll disagree with you, I'll assume they'll let me.
And we've got some flyers that we turned around into our neighborhood and with Wesley Glen residents and staff. So my name is Tim Cryer. I live at 191 Fenway Road. These are my neighbors, a terrific group of people. Just in the last week or so, our group is called Friends of Fenway. All right, and we have added 30 different residences just on Fenway Road. It's a non-pass-through road, dead ends at the end. And at the front of it, on High Street, is where Wesley Glen Senior Continuum Community begins their property. They go back for 4.5 football fields, all right? But there are lots of residences along the way on the other side, and then further on. So, of all the neighbors we speak to, we've spoken to, 100% of them said, yes, we are behind Friends of Fenway and are opposing Wesley Glen's desire. What's the concern? The concern really is that Wesley Glen is seeking rezoning of these 2 little parcels that they've just purchased. If you want to talk about a $170,000 house, they just paid $600,000 for a house that was probably worth $170,000. All right. They even allowed the owner to move the house, which is an engineering feat in and of itself, which was cool. But they want the land. Because that land, according to Columbus's 2024 zoning process, allows them, if adopted, commits to the rest of the CAC zoning, not the Area Commission, right, but the Community Activity Center Commission. Thank you. Which allows them really instantly to put up a 5-story building. And not just a 5-story tower, but 5 plus 2 if they put in affordable housing. All right, so they want to put something in there, or consider it 4.5 football fields deep from High Street. All right, dramatically changing the character of our modest homes, of our neighborhood, of the bottleneck traffic that we already worry about, of the environmental degradation of Bill Moose Run, et cetera, et cetera. All right, so we actually believe in some ways that what we support, and we've tried meeting with them. And it's been difficult in terms of, well, it's been difficult, we'll just say that. What we support and what we're asking of you is that you will not be able to get this deliberative process, right? You will not be able to make a recommendation on this. Claytonville Area Commission will not be able to make a recommendation on this zoning request. Only City Council makes it. Which certainly doesn't seem like this intimate, deliberative, democratic process that we've enjoyed tonight. Well, it's only my first time, it won't be that. So the reality is, what's our ask? Our ask is for you and other neighbors, we want her on our side too, all right, to start thinking about advocating and lobbying for us, for your neighbors up on Fenway Road. Specifically, what do we support? We support more affordable housing, more senior housing. We just want the 5 to 7 story building fronting High Street where it makes sense. where it's sound senior design, the bus stop is right there, banks, Target, easy mobility for them, instead of a 4.5 football field walk. The second thing we want is we would like them, and we'd like you guys to advocate for expanding this beautiful senior patio home village that they have. That your neighbors who maybe own a $750,000 home or higher, they're the ones who are moving up and out into these patio homes. It's an incomplete little village. We think it adds good churn to the acute housing shortage we have in Columbus and in Clintonville by allowing folks in starter homes to be able to move up to these nicer homes, I guess, or bigger homes or more expensive homes. And it allows families to move into those starter homes that then get opened up. So we want them to not only build that tall senior building on High Street, but we want them to expand and complete that patio home village that fits the neighborhood and serves seniors better. And the last thing we're advocating for and asking for your help for is for more transparent planning and honest communication from the developers. They're now owned from out-of-town, non-local developers, so it's been real difficult, and we're nothing short of terrified for something that just doesn't seem to make any sense.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'd just like to say something, because City Council just passed, they can do 5 to 7 story buildings from the short north to Worthington, and they've removed the parking requirement.
Yes.
Thank you.
Just think about that.
And Commissioner Mertz, is this going to be an agenda item at the commission meeting?
No, but I encourage the Friends of Fenway to come and talk at the CAC at the public speaking moment. So I've met with the Friends of Fenway last week. I've also called the people from Wesley Glen and reaching out to the people at the zoning at the city. Because indeed, I know that the zoning has changed, and so now you can do 5 stories, 7 stories on High Street. This particular parcel goes all the way back to the middle of almost Fenway Street. And so it's a residential street with lots of trees. So if a building would go up there, it would be kind of out of place. It's unclear what the building plans are of Wesley Glen, but the Friends of Fenway are concerned.
Does Chair Bolton know that they plan to speak?
I can ask, I can get involved. I was thinking about public speaking, but it's maybe better if it's an agenda item.
It's an agenda item that you can budget time for. The second backup is if she knows that someone's coming for public comment on something like this, she works to make sure that they don't just run out of time, and because the library kicks people out at 9, and they're very strict.
5 minutes till.
And I think that I appreciate your time coming here. If people want, since it's not a committee agenda item, if people want to discuss that afterwards, they can. Do I have any objection to adjourning the meeting at 8:02?